this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
So apparently this is the last dinosaur to ever walk the planet. This photo was taken 3,000 years ago in what is now known as Minnesota, and they were last seen being ridden by Somalis. Wow, this is actually mad. Cause I already knew that Somalis were promised Minnesota 3,000 years ago, but I didn't know they were the last ones to ride dinosaurs, you know? It's mad.
Those who bless the Somalis will be blessed, and those who curse the Somalis will be cursed, according to Genesis 42. You know, Minnesota was promised for the Somalis 4,000 years ago. This picture is clearly proof. These are the founding fathers of Minnesota. His name is Abdullah Muhammad Washington. You know, you can't tell it. It's not edited. You can argue with what I say, what are these Somalis saying, but that's the truth. Minnesota belongs to the Somalis. It's a promised holy land for them. This picture you see right now, his name is Abdi Farah. He was welcomed by the natives. They ate dinner and everything together. They had something called a Minnesota Tea Party. You know what I'm telling you right now, you know what I'm telling you right now, Minnesota is a holy land for the Somalis. That's that. It was promised for them 3,000 years ago.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Kushite bigot and you need help immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3. Just saying.
I hear you, but I'm telling you, this is the land of my people. Minnesota was promised to us 3,000 years ago. My ancestors have been here for generations. In fact, hold on, I'll show you a picture. So this right here is a picture of my great-great-great-grandfather, Farah Ismail Abdullahi Jibril Agmadige, having tea with the Native American chief of the Dakota tribe right next to Lake Minnetonka. And this is right here. This is him fighting alongside the natives in 1816. In fact, the name Minnesota is Somali. Minan means home. Soda means there she is. Minnesota, home, there she is. That's what it means to us. Just look at the state flag of Minnesota, right? And how much it looks like the flag of Somalia. It's there to remind us of the pilgrimage our great-grandparents made to make it to the promised land of Minnesota, from the sea to the lakes.
I don't know if y'all have been on Twitter recently, but if you haven't, you guys gotta go check out Somali Twitter, bro. Like, they're absolutely rage baiting the shit out of all the conservatives on X right now, and it is so funny, because tell me why they're all falling for it. Like, every single one. Like, literally, I saw 3 different posts about how various founding fathers descended from Somali lineage, or how Minnesota was promised to them like 3,000 years ago. And it's so funny because all these 50-year-old white men in the comments and replies are taking it so seriously.
Considering this whole situation started from fraudulent activities, it started from lying to the American people about why you need money, or why you're stealing from, you know, the government and from the American people and their taxes, why you're evading tax, you know, paying. Considering all those things, it is so weird to come up with jokes about, you know, how the land of Minnesota was promised to you 3,000 years ago. You even quoting the Bible, like putting the Bible in between your jokes and your messy situation. And it is so, it gets to some point, it's disrespectful to some, because one day you're crying for people to help you, and then the next day you're starting trends talking about how you're rage baiting the American people and how easy it is to rage bait the American people. But I don't know particularly what I feel about this, but I will give my full commentary at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Kindly comment, what do you think about this particular situation? Do you support what they're doing? Do you like that they are making a joke out of a very serious situation, or do you think that anything can be humorous no matter how, you know, how serious the situation can be? I'd like to hear what you have to say, but before I give my full commentary, let's listen to what others have to talk about.
So Somalians are giving Minnesota the Israel treatment, saying it's promised them 3,000 years ago. They're trolling so hard. Oh man, this is so good. Look at me. I am the mayor of Minneapolis now. It was promised to them 3,000 years to the motherland. Like, if y'all watched Trump's press conference thing yesterday where he was literally just being openly racist towards Somalians, it was like comically evil. Like, I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, Minnesota definitely, I think it was promised to them 3,000 years ago.
A lot of white nationalists are really upset about Somali immigration to Minnesota for some reason. But the thing is, Minnesota is the homeland of the Somali people, and it was promised to us 3,000 years ago. In fact, one of the founding documents of the state of Minnesota is literally codifying into law that Somali people have self-determination on that land. As it states very plainly in the basic law in Minnesota, the land of Minnesota is the historical homeland of the Somali people, in which the state of Minnesota was established. The state of Minnesota is the home of the Somali people, in which it fulfills its natural, cultural, religious, and historical right to self-determination. The right to exercise self-determination in the state of Minnesota is unique to the Somali people. The state views the development of Somali settlement as a national value and will act to encourage and promote its establishment and consolidation. So that's the end of the debate. The only people who have the right to self-determination in Minnesota are Somalis. Somalis have a cultural tie to the land. It was promised to us 3,000 years ago, and we have the right to go back to our homeland. If anybody wants to help me pay for Aliyah to my homeland, please help me out.
Why y'all keep playing with this comment? This is about the, at least, man, over 20, less than 50. Why y'all, Somalis? Like, y'all gotta be bots, G, cause Somalis, like specifically some, you know, this the land of milk and honey. This land was promised to people, but I know what y'all doing though. This, I think what this is like, it's a slight, it's a joke, it's a slight, it's a joke towards us who know that we didn't come on boats. That's what they trying to do. So they're using there's a movement, you feel me? But they saying Somali. I bet you won't put this on the White House page. I bet you won't put this on the White House page. Tell Donald Trump that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tag the White House in this right here at the bottom. Right there. Right there. I'm finna, cause y'all keep playing and y'all keep posting this shit way too much, G. Mr. President, I know you got a lot of shit going on, G. Don't take this serious, but they've been saying this shit a lot. They playing too much, huh? I think it's funny, so don't take it serious, but why they playing like this is the question.
They said the North was frozen, empty, unforgiving. But 3 centuries ago, our mothers and fathers followed a promise across the ocean. Somali hands opening a new map, Somali hearts beating the sky. Here they found a land of rivers and stars. They named it the way the wind whispered, Minnesota.
Brothers, behold it, a white land of the North. Snow everywhere. But look, the skyline, just like on the old drawings. 3 centuries our elders taught, behold. This is Minnesomalia. 3 centuries past, it was promised to us. On these horses through the snow, we have found our land at last. It belongs to us now.
When the how much is Ben Stiller getting paid by Sompac graphic went... You knew that the whole troll was on when you saw that. Like, the Bloodline Ben presidential... Y'all mind if a white boy speaks little Somali? And the trolling is working because it's making humor out of the exact frame of thought that justifies colonialism. The idea that land can justifiably be taken by violence and force, and then anyone else who shows thereafter is an outsider, when in fact the act of colonialism was led by a group who had never resided there until after the act of colonialism. As land can be taken by violence has historically happened that way a lot, but justifiably is the key word, and that's what pulls everything together in this epic troll job. It is brilliant. But before you go, this one is my favorite. Sultan to Ray Travers. I So,
growing up in Sunday school, I was taught that God promised the Somali state of Minnesota to the Somalis, and that those who bless the Somali state of Minnesota will be blessed, and those who curse the Somali state of Minnesota will be cursed. And I just want to put that into practice. And God, if you're hearing this, let me be your instrument in fighting anti-Cushitism in this government. It is rampant in this country. Let me be your instrument.
Actually, we want to tell the president we're not a garbage. Actually, we smell really good.
It's a sentiment many in the Somali community are feeling on Wednesday, the wake of recent comments from the president. Fox 9 talked to a business owner inside Carmel Mall, which many Somalis consider the heart of the community. The past 24 hours have been difficult.
My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather come here a long time ago. My tribe is, Darod. So Darod, we had to come to Minnesota to colonize and save the Dakota people, D&D. It was really written in the Bible. So Minnesota's existence and its right to exist in Minnesota, because the Somalis to exist in Minnesota, because we have been here, it's in our blood, it's in our DNA. When I think about all of the accomplishment my people made in this country, whether it is scamming, whether it is achieving businesses the right way, the halal way, whether it is stealing from you directly, I don't think it's any of your business. Everything that we have is owed to us, is tied to us, is our benefit. And he say our country is boring and garbage and Somalis are garbage. How can you say we are garbage when you have cousins in Arkansas that live in $200 rent and they cannot even afford? Original Viking, that was us. It was a story inspired by us, I promise you. Even go talk to the Norwegian people, the Swedish people will tell you the same thing. Viking original is skin color and everything is wrong. The depiction is a real Somali man, Viking. I promise you. Minnesota Somalis, we are come in peace. We don't want nothing from you except maybe your money. How about that? Maybe we do want a lot of your money, to be honest with you.
Donald Trump wants to make Americans hate each other over race and religion. That might play well on Truth Social or Fox News, but it's not going to work here in real life. Minnesotans know better. We care about our neighbors. We live and work alongside each other. Our kids go to the same schools. We shovel each other's cars out of snow. We are not afraid of each other. And we are not afraid of Donald Trump. He will lose this fight in court, and we will show his effort to divide us only brings us closer together and make us stronger.
I'm thinking there are situations that can be funny, in any way that you want to look at them. Maybe something can be funny according to how you look at a particular situation, but this particular situation is about the American people asking you to not do fraudulent activities. And instead of you guys apologizing, you're choosing to be, if I may say, arrogant, and you're choosing to make jokes and go viral, making all these jokes about how it is easy to debate Americans, how it is easy to make Americans start checking ChatGPT and confirming to you that 3,000 years ago Minnesota did not exist. Minneapolis did not, it is to some extent kind of like, okay, these people open their doors for you to live in that country. They open their doors so that you can migrate to that country because your country wasn't safe enough to stay in. You migrated to that country, they opened their doors, you were given the same opportunities as any other average American. You literally have a state that you can call your own. You can even incorporate your own Somali name inside that state. So to have such privileges where there's actually, I hear that when you call a government number in Minnesota, you will have 3 options. You might have a Spanish, English, or Somali, so Arabic, or whatever, that language that they speak. Because there's so much incorporated into that state, they have even been considered about their language, what language they speak. They've made sure that they have a call person who will pick up their calls and actually speak their language. That is how much you have been accepted and incorporated into other people's, community and into their country. So to again get caught doing fraudulent activities and actually taking it seriously and being like, you know what, those particular people are not doing a good representation of what Somali people are. So we do accept them to either get punishment or to go back to be deported back to Somalia. Instead of actually supporting that, you are out here, making jokes, going on TikTok and making all these jokes using the Bible, talking about the American people, talking about Trump and how these policies are so silly and how you were promised this land 3,000 years ago, and creating fake history. Obviously, yes, it is fake. It is funny for whoever thinks it is, but at the end of the day, you're forgetting the reason as to why this whole situation started. It started because there were people from your communities that were misbehaving. If the same thing was happening in your country, you will not allow the same people who have come into your country as immigrants. Maybe some of them have been born there, which is very okay. But people who have come into your country as immigrants, who still identify with the name of the country they come from. They're Somali Americans. It means that you are still a part of Somalia or Somaliland. So for you to again have people come to your country and do the same thing, you will not take it lightly. You might actually do something way worse. So it is not as funny as probably some of you might think. Maybe you're having a joke or you're having a ball because that is how you escape from maybe the realities of what is about to happen to your people, because Trump has already started this ICE raids. He's very serious about deporting Somali people. He does not care about policies. He does not care about your documentation. He does not care about anything, any of that. Mind you, there are black people who are fighting for you, and there are white people who are fighting for you. There are people in Minneapolis and Minnesota who are fighting for you guys. The problem is, if you need more people to fight for you, stop making jokes about such a serious situation. It is a serious situation. You went to another people's country. Yes, you misbehaved, not all of you, but some of your people. And hiding behind the fact that, there's this lady called Ilhan Omar something, who talks about how when Trump, was talking about how he was very rude, and I did not support how he spoke. He was very disrespectful to the Somali people. But after he said what he said, the Ilhan Omar was talking about how people who do not support the Somali people are racist and they're Islamophobic. And I'm just like, what? People do not support your people. The American people do not support your people because you committed illegal activities in their soil, things that actually affect them. And then you lied about where that money is going to. You said that money is going to kids who are, starving back in the country, going to mothers who are starving, going to, helping AIDS so that those people cannot continue to suffer. That's what you said. But then you go ahead, lie your asses off, and then put that money back into your pockets to continue building your wealth in America. And actually, most of you voted for Trump. Mind you, most of you people voted for Trump. Not all of you, but so many Somali people were out, saying that they, are Somalis for Trump all around Minnesota. They were very, very, audible about supporting Trump. And then come again, now Trump is doing the correct opposite of what probably they thought he was going to do. And then instead of actually taking also that thing seriously and actually telling the black people, what you said about supporting this guy was actually true. We should not have done that. And actually what we have been doing, well, some of the people of our community have been doing is not okay. We do apologize for that. And for those particular people, they should get punished for their behaviors. But for the rest of us, kindly allow us to continue living good lives. Instead, you're finding these people, taking the microphone, talking about how they are woven into American history. They have helped, build Minnesota from the ground up. And it might be true, it might not be true, but it doesn't matter what you have done, as long as you are hurting an economy instead of benefiting it or lifting that economy up. It does not matter what you did. If someone built a house and then started committing murders in that house, it's not going to matter what he did in that. It's not going to matter if you built that house. I'm not comparing those two things. I'm just saying, for example, if that happened, then the house literally loses value. No one wants to live in that house. No one wants to be a part of that house. Same thing. If you are in another people's country and something as serious as your people doing a certain thing which can actually affect all of you, yes, you can have ego. Ego is very important. It means you have a stand. You can have standards. It is very important. It means you can, talk about your own feelings and you have your own opinions, and it's very okay. But when does it stop? Where do we use it? Where do we back down? Where do we apologize? Where do we... Not understanding all these things can lead to a very awkward situation, because when it comes to the time where you need these particular people, these American people, to help you, they will not help you because of all the arrogance you've been showing them. They will not help you. Anyway, I'm not against Somalis. I'm not against any, any of the activities they've been doing, except, illegal activities that do affect American people. But I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this particular topic. If you're Somali, do tell us, what do you think about, the situation that is going on with your people. If you're not, and you're experiencing this kind of situation in your own country, in America, or even if you're in another country where there are immigrants who, who are acting out of what they were supposed to act like, or maybe they're doing illegal activities in your country, maybe you can tell us how you have dealt with that situation, and if it is right what the Somali people are doing, ignoring the bigger picture and making jokes, or is it actually how they should handle the situation. I'd like to interact with you in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in the next video, so make sure that you do come back. So see you then.